And we're going to go ahead and send it live on YouTube. What is up, everybody? We are sitting here today for episode number 8 of Critique. We've got obviously myself and Joe are here, as always, your hosts for Critique. And today we're joined by Vincent and Matthias. So Matthias Cordes is actually the first person who had a site reviewed. Maybe you remember this site from a previous episode where we reviewed his website, and now he's a judge. So just kind of a cool process there. And we'll let him say hi in just a second. Actually, go ahead and say hello, Matthias. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your Webflow experience.
Yeah, sure. Hi, my name is Matthias. I'm a freelance web designer. I'm based in Hamburg, Germany. I mostly work with technology startups to design their websites and also build them in Webflow. And my website has been critiqued in the previous episode, and that was super helpful. So thanks again for this, guys. Also, thanks to the crowd. I already made some tiny improvements and look forward to further improve it soon.
Fantastic. All right, and then we've got Vincent. And Vincent, is it Bidot? How do you pronounce your last name? I know it's a French last name, but I'm not very good with French pronunciations.
Bidot is fine, yes.
How would you say it?
Bidot is fine.
Bidot, okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself. If you guys don't know, Vincent is an OG in the world of Webflow. You should definitely check out this manifest.me site. I'll paste that in the links. Lots of tools and resources for Webflow folks. But Vincent, tell us a little bit about yourself and say hi to the crowd.
Hi everyone. Webflow changed my life 7 years ago, and I started doing only development with Webflow. And today I'm doing a lot of integration and content model construction. I'm gently switching to auditing projects. So it's very, very fulfilling. And I'm very active on the forum, and I have my blog manifest that is providing resources. And I just saw a few bugs because I don't go on it very often. So thankfully it's not critiqued today. I'm very, very happy to be here because I have to say, I like you at Finsweet. I like what you do. It took me a long time to come to your product, but I had the same feeling. I told Joe about that. I had the same feeling when I discovered Finsweet. I was empowered like I was empowered when I discovered Webflow. But for real, like suddenly I had a new toy and I couldn't stop playing with it. So I'm delighted to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you. If you don't know, Joe is the CEO of Finsweet. Joe, do you want to say a few words there?
Yeah, absolutely. I am, yes, CEO of Finsweet. Loving this show. I'm excited. We are now on episode 8, and we have new guests here, new guests on the show. Vincent was one of my early inspirations in Webflow, that he was creating content, and I think one of the first people creating intermediate to advanced content in Webflow. So really, really great person in the community. And Matthias, I'm so happy to see somebody reviewed on the show as a judge. That is really, really exciting. So this is going to be a great episode. Let's get into it.
Yeah, and I just pinned, for everyone who's watching at home, I just pinned the audience scorecard. Let's go ahead and give everybody a rundown of how the episode's going to work.
Okay, so here's how it works. Each week, the Webflow community will submit websites for us to critique. Members of the Finsweet team, along with guest judges, will get 5 minutes to review each selected site live on air. 5 seconds to submit their scores before we reveal the overall rating for each website and share our final thoughts. Welcome to Critique by Finsweet.
All right, and we're gonna go ahead and send it live on YouTube. What is up, everybody? We are sitting here today for episode number 8 of Critique. We've got I'm hearing obviously myself and Joe are here, as always, your host for Critique. I'm not sure how and today we're joined by Vincent and Does somebody have the show playing in their background or the stream in their background here? Actually, the first person who had a site reviewed. Somebody, maybe you remember the site from a previous episode. Okay, hang on. That was on my bad. Okay. Wow. Okay. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. We had a little video loop in the background there. So I apologize for that. But let's go ahead and get into it. We have our first site here today, which is this Fly Media. Let's go ahead and throw that in the YouTube as the first website. Let's go ahead and dump that in there. We'll get 5 minutes on the clock. And I'll walk through the first website just to get everything started here. And what we do is the first judge will take 2 minutes to go through a site. Each of the other judges will get a minute to review. And so let's go right through. And again, we're going to get, okay, so this site is in another language here, but right off the bat, yeah, something about these little birds flying in the background, big bold text in your face. I know a lot of times we talk about like sites being text heavy, but sometimes that works. In this instance, I'm kind of liking the fat text here and kind of just in your face, let the words do the talking. So even though I can't read these, I do like that bold message. These signs, these little lines seem to be kind of a trend recently. In the last year or two, I've seen a lot of these vertical lines kind of becoming a trend in design. Not sure really how I feel about that consistently, but it seems to play okay here. I've seen some nice interactions around that kind of thing. So graphics are really nice, clear, very visual. It is a little text heavy up here, so that would be a kind of a little bit of a critique. Let's see how this menu operates. Okay. It seems like maybe it could be a little smoother, but it could be that my screen is lagging a little bit. I do like these little preview cards. This is a nice little animation here. It shows me a little bit. I kind of want to see more. What happens if I click on one of these? So I like that little bit of movement. Work is forward. We talk about that a lot. Okay, big example of the website with a link out to the project. I like this. This is very simple. It's clean. It's understated. There's not a lot going on here from a distraction standpoint. It kind of walks you through, hey, Webflow versus WordPress. We did a little something like that. All right, so cool. What are we thinking? Let's go to Vincent as a secondary set of thoughts here. What are you thinking as you scroll through this Fly Media site?
Okay, I didn't find the URL, so I'm not scrolling it on my end, but I've seen what you showed. I actually like the vertical lines. They are actually guides. I'm using them for 10 years now. I stopped using them like 2 years ago. You can find them on my own sites, on my own blog. I like them because I use the grids when I design, and that's why I wasn't too excited with the grid, the guides going away from the main interface in Webflow. You can now access them, but it's more hidden. That means there won't be any more developments in it, so I'm a little bummed. So I like when they show up on a website because they kind of show you discreetly what the intention was, what was the grid system. It's a nice detail. I like the technicalities. I'm not so... for desktop views, I like when menus are... can you click on the menu for me, Raymar? I like when the primary menu is shown and not hidden, because it usually gives you an outline of the website, and this is very important actually. You can, with a well-crafted menu, know exactly what the website is about, instead of having the surprise of clicking on the hamburger menu.
Yeah,
I like it overall. I like dark websites recently more and more. Everything can be kind of elegant. I agree with you. It's a bit texty at times, and the showcase of the website looks great. And this is a shame that we can't put them up front more in a bigger way. And I like the...
Hey, I'm gonna
can you go
Vincent, and in the sake of time, I'm gonna cut you here. We got to go over to Matthias. So yep, Matthias,
okay.
What are your thoughts as you look through this?
Yeah, so my first impression was very positive. When entering the site, seeing the birds in the background move, this is a design element. I'd say that's very unique. I haven't seen this before, and it really fits their brand. So that was the first impression that I got. That's really great. And another point I would like to make is that I really like how they present the cases. That's something you also critiqued last time on my side, that you don't see a lot about the project but here, at least on my screen, I have a nice overview of the work and the designs that they have created. And it's really fun to scroll the page and look through the different projects.
Yeah, great. Joe, what do you see when you walk through this?
I have to give a fourth comment on the too much text. That hero, you can cut down that subtext by half, and those services, you probably don't need any subtext at all. If any, maybe just a line. And I think if that happens, this homepage turns into a much, much nicer product. I'll also say on the homepage, the news tutorials download sections, I love that you have this. You need to grow this, but I think you actually need to grow this before showing it. It almost looks like you're not active. I see the intent, but there's no visible action here. So add some more to that and then put it back on the homepage.
Yeah, and it could use a little spacing here. I think airing out some of these sections and letting some of these sections breathe a little bit could also help. So there you go. That's 5 minutes. We got the first judges' reviews in. Let's see what the audience is saying here. What's up, Brandon Tancott? We've got Kish in the house, Jay Poucher in the house, Matt Evans. What's up, Rock and Roll CEO? Just a hunch, but I'm thinking this may be an example of a website that was designed for mobile first. Looks better on mobile portrait. Okay, that's some good feedback there. Rohan is saying really nice brochure. Let's see. Okay. All right. Oh, Vincent gets some shout outs from the crowd here. So yeah, a couple people saying they appreciate you, Vincent. So let's go ahead and do what we do. We get 45 seconds on the clock.
Thank you.
And yeah, let's cast your votes. Go to the live scoring panel. Audience, this is your chance to submit your scores here. We're looking for design, right? That's the overall aesthetic of the website. We're looking for the story. So what does the content tell? This is going to be a tough one because we weren't able to read it. So we'll default maybe to that. Okay. Flair is going to be like interactions, and does the site draw you in? Is there something there that kind of pulls you deeper into the site, makes you want to explore? And the usability is going to be how easy it is to navigate the site. So yeah, you've got just a few more seconds there. Matthias, I'm not seeing any scores. There they are. Okay. Got 15 seconds, audience. So get your scores in. Let's see if those crowd scores. All right. Yeah, crowd scores are coming in hot. Live scores are in. Okay, great. Moving right along. 5 seconds, y'all. I can always tell when my CPU is struggling that countdown video stutters. Okay, so here's how we do it. We pull up the scores in order of lowest score to highest score. And so we've got a tie on the low score today on this website between Joe and myself. We both gave it a 6.25. Let's see, next up is Vincent with a 7.25 and Matthias with a 7.75, which gives us a judge's average of 6.88. which is considerably higher than the crowd. The crowd is pretty critical of this site at a 5.63. So we got a combined score of 6.63 for the Fly Media website. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any thoughts? First round, Vincent, Matthias, what are your thoughts? You just participated in your first round of critique. What did we get this right? Was the crowd right? Tell me a little bit.
That is great. I love it. My flair note is for the hero of this website. I love it with the birds and the text animation. I know it's nice. I refreshed it, so it made me refresh it like 5 times just to see it. So
yeah,
you get the flair.
Yeah, and hey, do both you, let's see, Matthias and Vincent, if you go into the same document of the scorecard, there's a websites tab where you can open up all the websites we're going to review. So Vincent, you'll probably want to open up that studiolinguini.com site because you'll get the first 2 minutes to walk us through on that one. Do you have that open on your screen?
Oh, I love the name already.
Oh, crap.
Yes, I have it.
Okay, great. So
I have it. It doesn't. When do you start? When do we start? It doesn't scroll.
I'm going to give you.
It doesn't scroll.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's explore the site. We'll give you 5 minutes on the clock keep an eye on that. You got 2 minutes. Walk us through here.
Okay, it's gonna talk to me personally. I love this kind of collage design. Where did you click? I didn't see where you clicked. You click on Linguini's?
Oh, look, the little
Everything is
interaction
floating
here.
around. There's this
Yep.
paper. I love it. There's this paper look and feel. This is clearly a website that looks like an app. I love the drawings. On the pages, they're a bit inside of boxes, but I love the homepage where everything is floating, and the page you're on, it's also pictures and collage. I want to know the story of those guys. They have something to tell, and it shows us very strong graphical orientation to tell their story. Can you go on the projects page? I like the project page. It's like it's exactly what I like. The pictures, the sketches turning into pictures. There's work in it. It's not like a stock photos. Everything has been handcrafted for this website. I respect it very much. I want to watch all the movies. What's behind the playground? You've been on the playground before. All those pictures, and you can scroll both ways. Usually, it can be it can be annoying very quick, but it doesn't annoy me at all here. I have a very good and warm feeling about this website. I want to see they're real, and I will. And I love everything of it. Also, I'm gonna put probably a good grade on it. I have a good feeling about it.
It's got a very unique style to it. I think the Flare scores on this one are going to be really high because it's just, you want to explore this site. And because it has such a non-traditional interface, you don't really know, especially on that homepage. Once you get into the subpages, you do get kind of like a regular navigation here, which I think is a good touch. You bring a little bit of that traditional in. Oh, and I guess that it's up here too. Oh no, this is the Linguinis. Okay, so yeah, they have a mix of that, traditional navigation at the top, but then this homepage is very intriguing. I'm not really sure what all these things are, but the cursor kind of indicates where I can click and what I can touch, and yeah, it's super playful. I like this when, again, we talk about this often on the site, that impactful design typically stops people in their track. It makes people stop and think. It makes people, like look and explore, and that's kind of what you want as a web designer. So I think, yeah, this is a really successful effort at that. Matthias, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's for me, it's something completely new. Like the whole style, the cartoons that they use, the different elements on the homepage. Yeah, it's refreshing. I wonder how it's going to turn out in terms of the usability of the website. Like I haven't used it myself yet, but yeah, overall exciting website.
Nice. Yeah, Joe, what are you thinking here when you see it?
I absolutely love that the agency is putting their brand in this website. We've said on previous shows that a lot of agencies will come and have a white website with no visual touch, and it's just a preview of the projects. This brand is putting their brand in the portfolio. So double thumbs up with that. You can feel that when you go through this site. I will give one technical comment, and that is in the projects, when we go to the horizontal slider, if somebody has a visible scroll wheel, that is going to show. So the horizontal scrolling is showing as the default scroll. So go ahead, put some custom CSS in your site to make sure that is transparent.
Yeah. Very limited critiques here. I think we always get somebody with the horizontal scroll. Somebody's always guilty of that.
We got to.
And that's right.
We got to.
And yeah, otherwise I think this is super successful as a web exploration. Let's see what the crowd is saying here. Let's see. Far out, super creative, makes you want to explore it. Looks like a fun video game, heads up display. Yeah, for sure. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and get 45 seconds on the clock. Rohan, go ahead and open up that scorecard for the crowd, and we'll put 45 seconds up for everyone to cast their votes. This is your chance to let us know, what do you think about this Studio Linguini website? It's kind of a dope site, honestly. Okay, let's see. Design score. We're looking for the overall design aesthetic. The story of the website is the message, the content. I'm going to give this, the flair score. It's going to be your interactions and the wow factor of the website. Let's do that. Usability. And then the usability is how easy is the site to use, navigate, etc. All right, so those scores are coming in. You've got another... Man. Okay, looks like we're having some serious CPU laggage today. Is that coming through for you, judges? Is that it's getting kind of glitchy a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this website too is putting a heavy load. I'm gonna close this window and go back to this. Okay. Okay, 5 seconds. Audience, wrapping up. Crowd scores are coming in. Yeah, okay. We've got crowd scores coming in hot. All right. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I want to see how everyone put this together. So, okay, as always, we're going to start from the bottom up. Matthias with a strong score here. He put it down on him, 6.75. Okay, so 6.75 for Matthias. We go up from there to Joe with the 7.50. The next step up will be me at a half a step up, 8.0, and then Vincent comes in with an 8.25. That gives us a combined judges average of 7.63, which is pretty close to in line with the crowd. The crowd was right with us on this one. 7.48, which gives us a combined score of 7.60. That feels pretty close for this website, huh? Any final thoughts from the judges? Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Who's walking us through this website?
That is me.
All right. So 25. Let's go ahead and grab this URL. Share this in the stream chat. There you go. For anybody who wants to follow along, you have 5 seconds or 5 minutes on the clock. And whenever you're ready, Joe.
Okay. I really like this one because of how simple it is. There's not a lot of text. There is a lot of visuals. I'll wait for this to reload on here.
Okay.
A lot of visuals, a lot of meaningful motion, and there's not a lot to read. So if you start scrolling through this site, you're just going to see people that are high quality images of people, and there's no cheesy illustrations, there's no unnecessary information. It seems that every single thing that I'm scrolling through here is important, and this is awesome.
Yeah,
I really
cool.
like this. I mean, if you scroll through that slowly, you really can understand the story here. So super cool, really, really useful and meaningful horizontal scroll. And as we continue going down, simple text. Look how simple this body of text is. Go up just a little bit. It's so simple. You can scan it. You know what they're saying, and there's not paragraphs of text. People need to be doing this more on their sites where we're leading with visuals. And if you scroll down, you're hovering over, you're getting a bit more information. I think the content delivery on this site is done very, very well. So I give it double thumbs up for that. Love the call to action. Top right, get involved, donate now. Could not be more simple, and it's telling me exactly what I should do next. And that's what we want users to do. Great with that hover on the heart. I'm a huge fan of this. I have really nothing to say for updates or visual fixes. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, and the donation opens up right on the page here, real nice.
It's great.
I agree. Vincent, what are you seeing as you walk through this?
I'm seeing a lot of details that I like. I'm always a big fan of background videos, vector animations. What stands out for me is how well crafted the horizontal navigation is. It's always a risk for it to be too long, but here it's very well crafted with the timeline. And you know, I love timelines and what happens on the map. Not something that I'm going to penalize the website rate about, but it could have a little more elasticity threshold on the animation. But it's great. It's not too long. It's very well crafted. As Joe said, it's a very good delivery. The little details. I like when you showed the pop-up for the donation. It's just two windows side by side with it's just a little detail, but it's very elegant.
Let me point something out here too. I'm going to pull our border graphic here just for a second, because this little pop-up after I hit the donate button, I didn't donate, and it says complete your gift to make a difference. And then it gives me this little heart with the I'm ready, not today. And so it's like this little extra indicator. It's almost like that cart abandonment feature, but it happens before, you know, you abandon the cart. And that's a clever little ditty there for a nonprofit. So Matthias, what are you thinking? Oh, I think that just reset the clock. So you got about a minute left on this one. What are you thinking there, Matthias?
Yes. So first of all, the part I like most about this website is how the video materials have been implemented. I know how challenging it sometimes can be to have videos on a website and combine it with a title. Also, make it work in a way that the title, for example, not covers some important elements of the video, like for example the eyes of a person and so on. So the implementation is done very well, and I think that really helps to the visitor to focus on the story. One tiny detail I'd like to mention as well is that I opened the website on my browser here as well. I'm in Chrome. I don't know what's causing the error, but for me, the Donate Now button that you see in the top right corner, the red button with the heart, it's not styled properly. So instead of having a button, I just see a Donate N. So I don't know what's going wrong there. Maybe it's part of the development. Maybe the error is here on my side, on my computer. But that's just something I want to point out, and it's something that could be double checked.
Yeah, it seems like this site honestly scrolls forever too. It just kept going there. I was like, oh man, is this like on a loop or something? That would be interesting, by the way, to like somehow loop on a website back to the top. And so you like just like this continuous scroll, but really you're just doing a looping effect there. But yes, so much little nuance. There's not a lot left to repeat. I really wanted to focus. This thing is beautiful. You know, I've seen this effect a lot of times, and something about the activity on the small dots being a lot more accelerated than what's happening on the bottom as the horizontal scroll, that variation in texture. So even though I slow scrolly, this is giving me like a lot of movement up top. I just like the variety of that texture, and I'll just agree with what everyone said here. I mean, this is a masterclass and just content layout and triggering emotion, you know, with images and visual language. So let's go ahead and open up the scorecard for the public. Rohan, let's get that opened up. We'll get 45 seconds on the clock, and let's see what we think, judges. Go ahead and cast your vote. Once again, we're looking for design, story, flair, and usability. So I think this site is probably going to score pretty high across the board. Okay. Let me give this that. Okay. All right. So once again, you got about 20 seconds to cast your votes. We're looking for design. So that's the overall aesthetics of the website. The story itself, what's the content say? Flair, something engaging and dynamic about the website. And the usability, how easy it is it to navigate the website itself. So just a couple more seconds to cast your votes. The judges' votes are in, and we're pretty close alignment here. This is okay, interesting. Who's got the lowest score? Matthias. On a trend. Okay, 8.25 though. That's a pretty high score. They're all high scores this time. 8.25. Vincent and Joe are tied at 8.50. So 8.5 points for Joe and Vincent. I came in just a notch over that at 8.25, which gives us a judge's average of 8.50. Pretty good score, and we're right in line with the crowd. The crowd and the judges this time are dead on at 8.55, which gives us a combined score of 8.51 for the savechildheart.org. And yeah, let's take a peek real quick and see what the crowd was saying on this one. One of the best attention to detail sites I've seen in a while. Very nice. Okay, Jay, nice. Like the heartbeat on the scroll, looks authentic. Yeah, Brandon, for sure. Fly High Media, just want to thank you guys for taking the time to review my website. For sure, glad we got a chance to review that while you were live on the stream, so cool to see that going down. Okay, that was great. The 25.savechildheart.org site is a winner. Great score there. Okay, the next site is going to be this old Sycamore Creek.webflow.io. Let me grab this link. Who's walking us through this one? This Matthias?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Okay,
All
let me
right,
get
yeah,
this
I can
link
see the
posted
site,
here. And I'll put 5 minutes on the clock and pull the scores whenever you're ready, Matthias.
Okay, yeah, I'm ready. So the first impression was great use of imagery again. So I can see the location and what it is that we are talking about. The old Skyamar Creek, if I pronounced it correctly. There's not too much text. I can see what it is about, the location, and okay, they want us to watch a video. That's interesting. I'm not going to check this out now, so let's maybe scroll down a little bit further. Okay, so the images really help to get an idea of the atmosphere. I think these images that are being used here are really important because right now here on the right you have an image of a building, not the creek, but also the location where you actually are going to stay. Oh yeah, there are some more images here, probably referring to an Instagram account. So I really like the photography that's being used, but I think images of the landscape and of the building itself where you stay should be placed in the hero section. So in the top, I think that's very relevant. And another point that I'd like to make is that we have the logo in the center, the OSC, but also at the left where users probably oftentimes expect a business logo to be, we have the title Old Skyamar Creek. So I'd probably combine those two elements and have the logo on the left or in the center. But for me, it's a bit split up. So maybe there's a way to change or improve the layout here a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like so close to being like just really unique here. I think there's just some finishing touches that kind of like would help with the refinement. And I agree, the logo, for me, the logo doesn't match the style. I kind of expect this old Sycamore, Creek logo to match this font here. I want it to be a little bit more elegant design of a tree, maybe in black and white logo, just very, very clean and understated. Right now, this feels, I don't know, this blue gradient. It just looks unrefined. It looks like it doesn't look like a high-end logo. I'd also like to see this call to action like more prominent. Give me a little button inside of here. Give me a little ring when I hover. Give me some indication that this is like where you want me to click, other than it just spinning. And there was one other thing, when it changed to dark background here, I'd like to see the navigation and some of this other stuff change to a light background to match that, to keep the contrast on these elements. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I'm mixed feelings about this. Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, I think there are some good things, and we have talked about the bad things. Some of the things that I really like, I love how this image is breaking up the two top words. I think this is something that's adding a big improvement to the site, in my opinion. The Book Now circle button, I don't think that this is good for most users. I think this is cool in our industry. But if you're dealing with people who are not very web savvy and they're not going on modern websites, this does not look like a button. And if Book Now is the primary call to action, I would keep that maybe as a design item, but I would have a Book Now button that is in a simple form somewhere else. I am also going to call you out on horizontal scroll. And this is happening on the home page in Hero. And I will tell you how to fix it. And I'll tell you why it's happening. You have a class called background section, video background section. Video background section has a width of 100 viewport width. So this is actually not being recognized by my Chrome browser as 100%. It is taking the area of a scroll bar and it's creating horizontal scroll. So if you change that 100 viewport width to 100% on that video background class, that horizontal scroll goes away and it does not appear to have any negative impact on the site. So please go do that.
Nice. Okay, who's left? Is it Vincent?
Me, you already said everything I had to say. Just two things I want to add. I want to jump on what Joe just said. The horizontal scrolling bug, not everybody is going to see it. And I'm very happy, Joe, that you're mentioning it because this is very important to me. I have like 2 articles on my blog about it. Don't use 100 VW because you're going to end up with bugs that you don't see. And it depends on the OS, the machine. It depends on many, many things. I couldn't pinpoint the reason this bug happened. The Book Now button, you're so right. It's not a Book Now button. However, this CTA moving on scroll catch my attention all the time. I'm definitely going to steal that because somehow it achieved like a secondary present CTA. It's not very distracting, but it's there and you see it and it moves all along. And I like it. I will definitely put some kind of motion in my site-wide CTAs like this.
Well, and that's where I think like on hover, you could present that button that Joe's talking about on here. So when I get close to that, because it does draw my attention. So what Vincent's saying is 100% right. It keeps me looking over there. And every time I hover, I just want something more to happen there. I want like something to let me know I can click, whether that's a little something coming inside of it, whether it's a little hover cursor. I don't know. I don't know what that design solution is for that. Go ahead, Joe.
I think you can place a little call to action button right inside that, not even on hover. Just place one right inside. It doesn't rotate. It doesn't move. And it has this cool circular Book Now button, but there's a little tiny real looking button that does not confuse a different user. I think that totally works.
Agreed. Okay, so let's see. Zach is saying the Hero video looks a bit gloomy with the leafless trees, like the shadowy area of Lion King. It doesn't best represent family gathering getaway. That's a good point. It is an interesting visual, but that's a interesting observation there.
That's the place.
Yeah.
That's the place. I mean, you gotta be realistic.
Yeah, I agree. So it's interesting just to hear a different take there. If the site owner is watching, the Book Now link doesn't work on our story page. Link's not been added. So that's a good catch, Rock and Roll CEO. And Jay saying it's not fair to compare this one after the other one. I don't know. There's some nice stuff. Again, this breaking in half. The text is nice. I don't know. I want to see, this will be interesting to see the scoring. So let's go ahead and get that scorecard open for the crowd. Judges, you'll have 45 seconds starting now. Let's go ahead and get the scores submitted. So again, we're looking for design. Let's see. We'll go with one of that. Story. Okay, that's going to be the overall content. Let's see. Flair. What do we give this thing for flair? Okay, and then usability is going to be how easy is it to navigate the site, to get around, etc. Okay, I feel good about that score there. All right. All right. Okay, scores are in. You got 15 seconds as an audience to get those submissions finalized. Let's see. Matthias is going to give up the mantle of the low score. for the first time today. That's what it looks like, at least. Okay, scores are in, audience scores are in. Everybody's got their opinions cast here today. So let's see. Start at the bottom. Oh no, I'm at the bottom. Okay, Rymar starts at a 6.0. I thought it was going to be Vincent, but Vincent's one step ahead of me at a 6.25. Let's see, Joe comes in at a 6.50, and Matthias liked this one a little bit, so gave it a 7.50, which gives us the judges' average of 6.56, which again is right in line with the crowd. The crowd and the judges are in alignment today, so giving us a total combined score of 6.55. All right, respectable little score there. Old Sycamore Creek.webflow.io. Okay. The next site is going to be reallygoodcontent.com. So let's go ahead and get that changed here. Let's get the link into the chat. All right, who's walking us through this one?
That would be Vincent.
Colleen is saying, interesting on that last site to see a bird fly by as a contrast to the other bird that we had in the video before. So, okay, hang on. Let's get the
birds. I don't see the birds here. I don't see
no,
the bird
not
here.
On this one. It was on the previous site, on the Sycamore site. Okay, so 5 minutes up on the clock. Who's walking us through? Go ahead.
Someone said me, and I didn't want it, but okay. It employs a lot of codes that have been used the last years, like the "you need really good content" section with the 3D illustration. It's nice, but I'm kind of over it. The purple, I like purple, but this one is very vibrant, maybe too much vibrant. I don't understand necessarily. I have bugs that you don't have on your screen, maybe because my window is much higher. I think it needs refinement in the spaces, the alignment of text, and the colors especially. And I'm sorry to be so negative. Actually, I'm sorry to be so negative. Content-wise, I didn't get right away from the header what the company is doing. Become a leader in your industry, partner with a media agency, you can get your results. Okay, fair enough. Yes, I do. I couldn't read the slogan right the first time. It does a job. It carries the message. It needs refinements to me.
Yeah. Matthias, what are you thinking when you look through this?
Yeah, and so in the above the fold section, the background video, I think it's good that they work with video. I mean, they create content, and video is most likely to be a part of the types of content that's being created. But I noticed that sometimes the contrast between the title and the background video is not that strong. So this makes it a bit difficult to read what the company is about. That's one remark. And another point is that for me, in general, it's a bit too funky, too much color. And I think if we scroll down just a few sections, there were some visuals, like here on the right. The image go up a little bit above, this section. So if I look at the right, I think the illustration doesn't really match what's being said in the text. Like I'm not an expert in this field, but I think on the right there's like an Ethereum coin or something, so it could also be about Bitcoin. So I think this could be could need some refinement in terms of the story that we're telling.
Yeah, and it seems a little disconnected here, even just the alignment, and something about this stark horizontal break here. I kind of want to see this purple carry through, and that diagonal line carry through here. It feels like it's a little cut off there, and it's a little weird, especially because the organic lines up top, and it's very organic, it's very like flowy, there's no hard line kind of cutting those sections, and then all of a sudden here's this like line that cuts that purple off there, and visually that kind of like stutters. I It's pretty simple. I do agree with the contrast on the video here. A little overlay, an opacity overlay, some kind of something. I also think you could do a little gradient to get rid of this hard line down here too. I don't like, if you're going to do these fluid lines to separate sections, I don't like seeing hard content lines behind that. You know, so if you're going to do fluid breaks from page design from section to section, I think they should be fluid. They shouldn't be fluid and hard. So either you need a hard break or fluidity, but the fluidity with the hard next to each other, like it looks great when the video's light, but as soon as the video gets dark and you see that line there, it's like, oh, okay. So it's just a little things of refinement that I think could push that over the edge. And when I get down to their stuff here, it doesn't match the pizzazz of their website, I guess, right off the bat. So I don't get the same feeling that I do with their site on this content here. So I don't know. Matthias, what are your thoughts? I'll give you the last minute here.
I'd like to go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I skip?
Yeah, no,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't get to go. Okay, this site screaming out at me the spacing between sections and the line height of the typography. That there are a lot of instances where I see the type really close together line height, and I don't like this. I think this is a great example. This header text is right above this paragraph text, and then the paragraph text has really small line height. Look, you could even see that the highlight is overlapping each other. It feels really, really tight. And then there's a big space on the top of this section and smaller spaces in between other sections. So a big comment around spacing. I'm also going to say, get rid of that isometric illustration. It looks like a free illustration that you got from a resource pack. This is not good branding, in my opinion. That you have this really cool company name, you have this really fun kind of logo icon. I want to feel that you're being fun, but this isometric thing is not fun. So get your content up there. If you do really good content, I want to see that. The video looks awesome. You have me interested in the video. Let's get more of that as I scroll down the page, not something that really maybe a design company should have, some type of isometric illustration. You don't need it. So get rid of it.
Great.
Yeah, those are my biggest comments here.
Okay. And Matthias, did you get a chance on this site?
Yes.
Okay.
I think
all right. I'm sorry. I got my judges on the right there mixed up. So apologies for that. Okay, let's see. Penny brought up a good point here. Where is that comment that I just saw from you? They spelled competitive incorrectly. I don't know exactly where. Spelling errors are a huge no-no for a content company. That's a good point, Penny. If you're talking about really good content, you're talking about that's what separates you apart. And then there's a mistake like that. That's a big deal. Let's see. Brandon Tancott, spacing is too wide, a little too busy, a lot of copy. I kind of agree, and I think it's overdone with this gradient. This purple to this is a heavy gradient. So let's see. Good content to me also means that you can consume content. Poor contrast doesn't make for good content. Colleen Brady, that's a good point there. Okay. Yeah, lots of good thoughts from the crowd. So now's your chance to cast your official vote. We're going to throw 45 seconds up on the clock. We'll get the crowd voting open. And judges, now's your chance. We want to get those design scores. Let's see, we'll get the story. Okay, yep. The story is the content, the message of the site itself. Flair is gonna be excitement, things that pull you in. And then the usability is just, can you navigate the site, how easy it is to get around, that kind of thing. So, any final thoughts from the judges here?
Yeah, my final comment is, if you're going to use this gradient, try to use more of the gradient feel from inside your logo icon. Inside the logo icon, I see this kind of really classy gradient. It looks a bit custom made. And then we have this just super linear pink to purple throughout the site. And I think if you work in a little bit more of that creative gradient feel, it can be a little bit more branded to you rather than look more standard.
That's a great point. Anybody else? Okay, let's jump in. Again, we always start with the low score, and that time that's Vincent. Vincent with a 4.75 on this site. I scored it just a bit higher by half a point at 5.25, and then Joe and Matthias are tied at 5.5. So that gives us a judge's average of 5.25, and the crowd was the crowd was pretty tough on this site. So 4.38 from the crowd gives us a combined total score of 5.08. This is a good redemption round. We haven't mentioned a redemption round candidate this episode, and this would be a good redemption round. I had so much hope when I saw this hero at the top of this, because that video is good. It does pull me in, and then it just didn't follow through as I scroll through the site. And so this would be cool to see some of that advice taken back and do a redemption round on this one. So, okay. Last site of the day is going to be theviralgurus.com. So let's get this.
Virtual Gurus.
Oh, Virtual Gurus. Okay, thevirtualgurus.com. I misread that. Yeah. Colleen saying, no social proof. The info on how this content has resulted in increased business for company's client. That's a good point too. You're a content company, you're bragging about good content. It would be good to see a little bit of social proof to show that you know what you're talking about there, and that you have been successful in those efforts. So another good observation by Colleen. All right, who's walking us through this one? Matthias, is this you?
Yeah, sure.
All right, 5
so
minutes on the
first
clock.
thing I noticed is, all right, let's get started. Yeah. So first thing I noticed when you opened the website is that there was a pop-up giving me a promo code, and I didn't even know where I am or what exactly I can purchase here. So I don't know if I personally find pop-ups sometimes a little bit annoying. So so maybe it would be better to not use it. But in general, I think the layout of the website is very clear. We have a clean design. It's easy to scroll along and learn about their service and read the copy. No interesting animation, but also no distracting animation. I think everything is communicated very clearly to the point. If we take a second look at the title section of the website, I'd say that the copy is really on point. So if I read the title and the subtitle, I know what the company is about, what they are offering. I can probably book virtual assistants. Maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe the call to action, the get started, is something. Yeah, it's not really specific, so I don't really know what to expect when I click get started. Maybe there could be another option that's maybe more precise. Okay, here on this page I can see in more detail how their service works, because it's a question I had in my head, like, do I book on a monthly basis someone to work with, or on an hour? So just to understand how their pricing works. Overall, I think it's a okay site. Nothing that really excited me, but it's okay.
Okay, great. Joe, what are your thoughts?
I like this one. It has this kind of templated feel to it, but it's not. This was done by a professional. It's very, very clear what the content is. The contrast is excellent with these two primary colors. I think they work really, really well together. And I love the branding throughout of it. This is something that makes it not feel like a template to me. We have these half circles throughout the site, and the half circles are mirroring what we see in the logo. So these little touches all throughout, the little star right under that we also see in the logo, these kind of touches give it this next step that no longer makes it feel like a template. Sometimes when we have these really clean layout sections, it feels templatey, but this designer has actually, I think, improved this a great, great deal. So one thing I will make a comment on negative is in this hero of the site, it's driving me nuts that there is no max width on this paragraph text. I really want a bit of max width here. I do not want one word overflowing. I don't want it all on one line.
Yeah.
So make a little max width there. And that same comment goes down to the other paragraph sections on this, like this, what we do. Just a little bit less max width there. and just clean. I think it will clean it up just a little bit. But
Yeah.
overall, great site. I'm a big fan. I feel really comfortable viewing this site.
Great. Vincent, what are you thinking?
I'm in line with Joe's comment about the graphism. The visual hierarchy is what counts to me. I want my eyes to do a nice zigzag. The hero illustration could be more personal and big. If you want a good tip for your the width of your text, you can put them in a container and give them 66 ch. The famous CH units. It will prevent them to go too large. 66 CH is the 66 times the width of the zero, and it's the maximum you should do. Okay, I have one comment about the content. There is a what we do and try in the menu, but it's barely scratching what they do. And only on the third thing, you know that they can be concierge, they know can be admin or something. It should be right on the hero, what they do actually, because virtual assistant, it's very vague. And the second paragraph is very vague. Everything is vague until task on demand. So I would like, it's more on the copy, it's more on the message they provide. I would like to know better what they do in an instant.
Yeah, it's got this very HubSpot feel. That's what I keep feeling, coming back to, like, from the aesthetic here. It's got that like enterprisey feel, clean, you know, it's like it's credible, but it also in my mind lacks a little bit of that finish refinement in certain places that I'd like to see. Something about these little asterisks that I'm not in love with. This seems like a lot of copy inside of these little, I don't know, these might be better off as like horizontal sections versus vertical sections with this much content in there. And part of me likes, I see the tie into the brand, but when it gets down here, then I see the second one is white and this up, I don't really know. Could that be sticky and it changes and helps me tell the story? So as I go from section, it's like an indicator, you know, that somehow like is taking me down the page, or I don't know what purpose it serves there. And it doesn't really feel as consistent as the rest of it. And so I don't know, is it just there because you thought it looked nice, or should it serve a purpose? Or, you know, like, I don't know, just a thought. So yeah, Viral Gurus, there was one other thing on the homepage that I wanted to call out. Where is that? This thing. I don't know how this works. I don't know if it's just supposed to be like scrolling through.
Wow.
Like when I pull it over, it just kind of goes back. So I don't know what from a usability, I don't know what the point is there. And again, these asterisks are just here. You know, like, are those? I don't know. So there's a couple little things that I think could be refined, but overall, this is a good site. So let's get the scores. Joe, what are you thinking there?
Before we go to the score, we have something that's never happened yet in the history of critique, and that is somebody who is listening and has already implemented a change that we recommended. And if you reload this homepage, you're going to see that max width applied to the hero paragraph text. Look at that.
And only possible
That's
with
awesome.
Webflow, because how can you be so fast?
That's right.
That's cool.
right.
That's cool.
Props to you.
And that looks much better.
Like-
That looks, yeah.
It does. It makes a difference.
Now I think this hero graphic can be a little bit bigger, fill up a little bit more of that white space. But in terms of delivering that piece of content, this is a big improvement.
Yeah, great. That's the fun of these live site critiques. So Robert Simmons is in the audience right now. Fix the Hero P text on the homepage and agree with the pop-up and the spacing. Going to sit on a time delay. Yeah, make it a little less harsh. Yeah, Robert, we appreciate that. Feel free to resubmit for a redemption round here, but love that. Yeah, and I think you're going to get some pretty good scores here. So let's go ahead and get 45 seconds on the clock. We'll get the crowd scores in. Maybe the crowd will be a little more gentle now that they know Robert's here watching with us, but maybe not. So we want to know what you think as it relates to the overall aesthetic of the website. So we'll give that a that's a good score there. Story. All right. What message does the copy and the content of the website tell you? Flair is going to be the appeal of the site. Does it draw you in? Does it make you want to scroll? Does it connect with you emotionally? And then usability is just how easy is the site to navigate, to get around, to access all the different areas on the site. Yeah. All right, so let's do this. You got 3 seconds, crowd, to cast your votes, and we'll take a look, as always, starting with the lowest score, which, man, you know what? I always call people out for being low, but I've been low quite a few times on this episode, so I'm going to call myself out for being a harsh cynic today, but I come in with the low score again at 5.75 on this site, and it goes up in increment at 6.0 for Matthias. Vincent's just a little bit higher than that by half a point at 6.5, and Joe is right above that at 6.75. So that gives us a judges combined average of 6.25. And again, we're right in line with the crowd. The crowd liked this one a little better than we did. So 6.68 from the crowd, which gives us a combined total score of 6.37 for the Virtual Gurus website. Very nice, respectable score, and could easily be a 7.5, 8. This could easily be, you know, popped up into that 7.5 category with some of those revisions. So, all right, let's do a little bit of just this. Let's see. Let's just chat it out. What's going on, judges? What did we think? What episode 8 is now in the books. The websites have been reviewed. What are your thoughts?
It's been great. I would like to add something and to go back on the really good content website. I gave a 4.75. If you made this website, you have all the elements to make a very nicer page. So if you go to the Webflow forum and open a topic and ping me in, I will help you. I will tell you everything that I would do to make this page better and to refine it. So I swear I will do it and spend the necessary time.
Vincent, that's nice. A great offer that Vincent just made. Oh, what happened in there? Did we lose our graphic? Okay, there it is. Sorry about that. Wasn't sure what happened there. Yeah, that's good feedback. If Vincent was offering to help me critique my sites in real time, I'd be all about that. So yeah, take him up on that. And we got, let's see, in the crowd here. What? Okay, who's the old guys next to Rymar? Zebra in the audience here throwing shade. I don't know if they're talking about Joe or Matthias or Vincent, but I don't think anybody here looks that old. You know, I see a little gray in the beard over there, Vincent, but you know, that's just character is what that is. That's experience is what that is, you know, so.
I'll take that for me. Oh no, but you know who asked? It's my mate. It's Louis. It's my Webflow Padawan. You know, it's just.
Oh yeah.
He's just mocking me.
Nice. Okay, got it. I figured he was just joshing us a little bit. So yeah. All right, Matthias. Any final thoughts?
No, not really. I just can offer the same that Vincent just said. Please, if you need additional feedback, feel free to reach out. There were some additional things that I thought about the website, but you try to keep a lean format, so I didn't mention everything. But yeah, it was super fun, and thanks for having me.
Great. Joe, what do you think? Should we jump into the co-work for a couple minutes? You got a few minutes today, judges, to jump in the co-work and do some little hangout, do some live hangout with the crowd. So let's go ahead and put that in here. We'll put finsweet.com/co-work. Boom. Okay. Yeah, join us in the co-work space. We'll jump right in there. We'll talk a little bit about what's coming up next week. Next week, we've got a really cool workshop on Tuesday that is going to do with how you can get involved in the Webflow community and how you can kind of take the next step in some of the Webflow Community Alliance that we announced last week. So we'll be talking about that along with critiques. If you'd like to be a judge, Matthias, it's pretty easy, right? You just fill out the form and then we'll send you a little invite. Especially if we've critiqued your site, we'd love to have you. If you're out there in the, the audience and you'd like to, come join us as a judge, those links are in the description of the video. So on YouTube, click in the description. There's a link to apply to be a judge and to submit a website. And right now we're only just a couple episodes out for reviews. We are coming up with a system, so where we'll actually notify you that your site has been selected to be reviewed and what episode is going to be reviewed on. We were not doing that on previous episodes, and so we'll start adding some of that stuff. But yeah, come join us as a guest and submit your site, and we'll see you in the co-working right after this. Cool.
Yeah, see you in the co-working. This space is amazing.
Okay, so the stream's dead.